Hello, third graders. This week in our Journeys book, we are reading about a mountain climber, Eric Weinmeier. I'm going to share a story with you today that's called Rising to the Challenge. Climbing a mountain is tough work. If you stand at the base of a mountain and look up, you might think it can't be done. You might even think climbing a mountain is crazy, but people have done it many times. People who climb mountains like adventure. Climbing mountains is exciting. It lets people use their skills and strengths in a unique way. What does it take to climb a mountain? The first thing a person needs to climb a mountain is courage. The second is determination to keep going, even when it's tough. Mountain climbers face bitter cold, falling ice and rocks, and avalanches. They could even fall off the mountain. Because of these dangers, climbers need to be prepared and stay calm. They must be able to think clearly in an emergency, and they need to have strong, healthy bodies. Mountain climbers use special equipment. They wear warm clothing, helmets, and dark glasses. Metal spikes attached to their boots help climbers get a grip on the ice. Climbers carry axes and picks to chip away or poke holes in ice and rock. Climbing a mountain can take more than a day. If climbers must stay overnight on a mountain, they carry a backpack with food and a hammock to sleep in. Some people prefer to climb mountains alone. Most, however, climb with a friend or in a group. A rope connects one climber to another. Falling off a mountain would be the worst thing that could happen, but a climber who falls could be saved if he is tied to another person. Even when people wonder why they do it, mountain climbers rise to the challenge of their sport and stand on the top of the world. Today we're going to be talking about a few ideas: fact, opinion, and visualize. A fact is something that can be proven true. An opinion is a thought, feeling, or belief. And visualize is to create a mental picture. A fact about mountain climbing is that you need to have a lot of equipment. An opinion might be, mountain climbing is difficult. That is someone's idea or thought about that. Even if lots of people share that same opinion, it's still just a belief or feeling. When we visualize climbing a mountain, we might picture someone climbing Mount Everest, or maybe a smaller mountain like Mount Helena. When we picture Mount Everest or Mount Helena, we get a definite mental picture of what those mountains look like, and that is visualizing that idea. This week, I'd like to go over our vocabulary words that go along with this story of becoming anything he wants to be that we will be reading in Journeys this week. Our vocabulary words are throughout, textures, peak, steep, tropical, landscape, slopes, altitude, survival, and equipment. The word throughout means from beginning to end of an event or a period of time. Textures are the way that something feels, the appearance or the consistency of the surface of a substance. The peak of a mountain is the top part, the most pointed part at the top of a mountain. Steep, when we think about a mountain, is the slope or angle that the mountain climbs. If it has a sharp steep, it's quite difficult to climb. A low steep or small steep mountain would be less so. Tropical. When we think of something that is tropical, we think of hot, humid climates. The landscape of our Earth is the visible features of an area or a countryside of land, often the way that it looks. A picture representing an area of countryside might be pleasing to look at. A slope is a surface where one end is higher than another. Altitude is the height of an object or a point compared to sea level. In Montana, we live in a high altitude. We have lots of mountains, and we do not live at sea level. Survival. Survival is the state that we need to continue to live or exist. When we think about how one might survive in the mountains like Mount Everest, we would think about the equipment that would protect us from the cold environment. Which brings us to our vocabulary word, equipment. Those are the necessary items that you would need for a purpose. For example, if you were going to go fishing, you would probably need a fishing pole and some tackle and fishing line. Maybe you would need a net. That would be the equipment that you would take.